360-Degree Leader. Written by John C. Maxwell. Please note, this audiobook is provided without charging a dime. Happy listening. Introduction. The frustrating tensions battled every day in leadership are universal, and leaders today face the challenge of influencing people from all sides of an organization. 99% of all leadership occurs not from the top but from the middle of an organization. John C. Maxwell, author of The 360-Degree Leader, explains the principles leaders can use to bring value and influence to and from anywhere in the organization, enabling them to lead up, lead across, and lead down. Many managers with leadership responsibilities feel that because they are not the main leader, that they cannot influence their bosses, peers, and subordinates. Even if managers report to someone else, they can use the three different skills of leading up, leading across, and leading down the enterprise. Once leaders can incorporate these principles into their own style of management, they will be able to influence others in every direction and become a 360-degree leader. Part 1. The myths of leading from the middle of an organization. Only 360-degree leaders can influence people at every level of the organization. Before outlining the 3 leadership skills, it is important to understand the 7 myths of leading from the middle of the organization. Myth number 1. This can be referred to as the position myth, where people believe they must have a certain title to lead. In reality, there is no need to possess a specific title to exert influence and become a successful leader. These people might wait for a more senior leader to empower them with authority, instead of building relationships with others to influence naturally. These people will only follow within the boundaries of a leader's job description. However, people can move beyond the boundaries of their position by building respectful relationships and valuing each person as a unique individual who gives something positive to the organization. A manager's achievements will encourage people to follow because of the leader's contribution to the team. Part of contributing to the team is to develop others' skills that sharpen their ability to lead. This can be referred to as leadership reproduction. In these situations, leaders value their people enough to mentor them and make them more valuable to the company. Potential leaders do not need to be at the top of their organization in order to develop relationships with others and motivate people to work with them. Leaders should be able to exert their influence from anywhere in the organization. Myth number 2. This involves the belief that people cannot lead until they get to the top, referred to as the destination myth. The thinking goes something like this: when I'm a leader, then I'll figure out how to influence others in a positive way, rather than learning these principles in order to be a leader. Becoming a leader is a journey of learning. The beginning of the journey may require people to adopt new ways of thinking, new skills, and new habits. According to John Wooden, Hall of Fame basketball coach, when opportunity comes, it's too late to prepare. Myth number 3. This is based on the belief that nobody will follow unless the manager is on top. People believe that just because they're in a leadership position, that they automatically have the ability to be influential. This is not the case. Those who lack leadership experience often put the leadership title on a pedestal, overestimating its importance. No matter what position people hold, they must earn their level of influence over time. Myth number 4. This is the mistaken belief that when people get to the top, they'll automatically be in control. An example of this belief is the thinking that things would be different if I were the boss. When people believe they can improve the organization, they do what it takes to accomplish their goals. On the other hand, it's easy to overestimate how much control a manager can have at the top of an organization. Many factors control an organization, and a person's high-level position is no guarantee of the ability to exert Influence. Basically, life at the top is not easier. Myth number 5. This states that once leaders make it to the top, their role is a ticket to freedom. Leaders at the top do not necessarily have it made. They cannot always do what they want. There will always be boundaries. As leaders rise to higher positions, they have increased responsibilities, more pressure, and higher expectations. These leaders make a great impact, but at the same time, many leaders have less freedom instead of more. Myth number 6. This is based on the thinking that people cannot reach their potential unless they're top leaders. The reality is that most people never get to the top of an organization as a leader. While people need to strive to do their best, they don't necessarily need to aspire to be at the top of their organization. Often the greatest impact is made from the middle. For example, Vice President Dick Cheney exerts a huge amount of influence while knowing that the top position is not his best role. He believes he has reached his potential anyway. His is also a good example of a 360-degree leader, with the ability to influence others from whatever position he holds. Myth number 7. This is the all-or-nothing belief that people won't try to lead unless they can get to the top. Most people will never become the CEO, but they can still be effective leaders. CEOs aren't the only ones who make a difference. While being a leader in the middle of an organization has its challenges, an effective 360-degree leader can learn to lead from the side, from above, and from below and influence people at every level.